Hi, I'm Hub Arkish for Pro Football Weekly, along with our associate editor, Dan Parrs. We bring you more of our exclusive NFL way we hear it. And you know, it's still going on in New Orleans. People can't take their eyes off it. It's a train wreck. Lots more questions popping up. And everybody wondering now, how did the league office find out about this bounty program in the first place? Who's the rat? Was there a snitch in the locker room? Well, there had to be, with as much information as they have gathered. And it was just recently that Warren Sapp, former Tampa Bay and Oakland Raider defensive tackle, now a network analyst for the NFL Network, reported that he believes he has information that former Saints tight end Jeremy Shockey with the Panthers last year, a free agent now, was the snitch who helped the NFL put this whole case together. Shockey denies it emphatically, and apparently Dan released a tweet back and forth from himself and Sean Payton, in which Sean Payton says to Shockey he knows he wasn't the snitch. I guess the question is, how would Sean Payton know?
That's a good question. How do any of us know? We heard from the NFL that they did not talk to Jeremy Shockey about this investigation. So they're, I'm sure, going to protect the identity of the person who did blow the whistle on this one. Jeremy Shockey, you mentioned the text message with Sean Payton, doing all he can to clear his name. He does not want to be involved in this whole thing. Didn't do anything to get himself involved. Just Warren Sapp doing some reporting instead of analyzing, which I'm not sure NFL Network is going to continue to encourage him to do.
Well, and here's the problem. I think that Warren Sapp and the NFL Network may have opened themselves up to some liability here because, as I said, Jeremy Shockey is a free agent. He's looking for another team. His skills are diminished. He's not the player that he once was, but he can still play tight end in the NFL. He might be able to make a case that nobody will take him on now because he is, quote, the alleged snitch. So this story is going to get some legs. Shockey, as Dan just said, doing everything he can to prove that it wasn't him, and Warren Sapp, the NFL Network, need to be careful, but that's not the focus of our report. Getting back to the New Orleans Saints, they're trying to find an interim head coach, and now he's going to take over a locker room in which everybody who was there in 2009, 2010 is going to be looking over their shoulder at each other saying, were you the guy?
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting situation for whoever steps into this role. And the people that are being considered are Steve Spagnuolo, defensive coordinator, Pete Carmile, offensive coordinator, Aaron Kromer, who has been the offensive line coach and running game coordinator there. Could they look to the outside? It's a possibility, but right now you haven't heard any candidate really emerge as a guy that you would look to bring in from outside. So it looks like those three guys are the top candidates at this point.
And one of the things that a lot of folks haven't understood, because Sean Payton does have a reputation of somewhat of an offensive genius, Pete Carmichael took over the play calling from Sean Payton after he injured his knee early in the season last year and continued to call plays right through the end of the season in the playoffs. Sean Payton, in fact, indicated he liked it that way and was going to leave it alone. Carmichael might have enough on his plate right now with no head coaching experience in the past. He probably is the least likely of these candidates. Whoever takes over will let him continue to run the offense. Keep an eye on Kromer and Spagnuolo as the most likely to emerge here. That's going to do it for this version of The Way We Hear It, but for more of the best inside information from around the NFL, be sure and check back at ProFootballWeekly.com 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.